Basically, I got fluid underneath the ligaments in my wrist, sir.
I beg your pardon?
Fluid underneath the ligaments in the wrist.
Well, how bad is it?
I've had it 6 days now. It's really painful, but you put a brace on for me, sir.
Your back's all right then?
Yeah, my back's fine, sir, yeah.
Well, how's this come about?
Just, I don't know, sir, just getting up and down, breaking cover, taking cover.
Right.
Just general, sir.
You're in and out of there like a yo-yo.
I know, sir.
Yeah? Okay, try not to injure yourself anymore.
Get down carefully, sir.
Yeah. Well, you're costing the taxpayer a lot of money.
Sir.
Wait with the CQMS.
Sir.
All right?
Sir.
I think he needs to reinsure himself.
If he's got any wind of how he's doing outside his own beliefs, if he thinks he's doing particularly well now, then he may well push it a bit longer to see if he can actually get through them, pick himself up. Because what happens is, you know, weak students like, because he can see, and I've already investigated him already before he even got back in this camp through his DS on the ground. And the fact is, he's not doing well on this course, and the chances are he'll give it a few more days. If he's been persuaded that he's not too bad and he can get on with it, he'll leave it a few more days and then he'll go, well, no, I really can't. And it'll be RTU'd. And it'll be a waste, you know, and another X amount of thousands of pounds wasted when we could have had another student here.
I'm confused with this guy. I've never seen anything quite like it. I've never seen anybody in and out of this camp so many times, you know, with various ailments, you know, the whole time I've been here. So I don't know what quite to make of it, really.
I don't know what they thought, but I feel like I'm not been given a fair crack at the whip yet. With one thing after another. I mean, so they're going to paint their own picture, and they probably think that I'm fucking some sort of sickie who's not really up for it. I'm sure anyone who knows me knows that's a load of bollocks.
Back on the training area, Steve Tickle reports to Instructor Captain Ramsey.
The second that this starts to border onto becoming a serious ailment, I don't care what you want or say, I will send you back. The doctor's advice has been, don't come out. That's his medical opinion.
Yes.
You've got to consider, I admire the ability to come out here and crack on with it. The primary concern is ensuring that you don't sustain an injury sufficient to A, going off the course, or B, once off the course, not being fit enough to be able to reattend instantly the next one.
Yes, sir.
But if you're sure in your mind
Yes.
that it's not going to affect anything, then that's fine.
Sure.
All right? But I want to be kept aware of the situation.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Coming up, disaster for two sections.
This had better improve pretty soon.
As Vern Stokes gets lost in the dark.
Hey, pass him fucking down!
One of the trained medics. All right, and now go and patch you up and you'll be safe and sound and no doubt.
Tonight is Vern Stokes' first major test. He has been appointed platoon sergeant. With the platoon commander, he will lead 30 men in a night attack.
Remember, you're going to war now and you're going to kill people.
While Vern Stokes prepares for night exercises, his daughter Chelsea settles into a new school.
At the start of the course, Chelsea, my daughter, started boarding school, and it was the first term, it was the first day away from home. I was just keep thinking about her, you know, how she was getting on, and I was worried, you know, that she weren't going to fit in, and I was worried for my wife as well, because, you know, she'd been missing and all that sort of thing. So I was slightly sidetracked that first week that Chelsea went to school.
Well, I reckon that Daddy is working very hard to move up from the Coldstream Guards. So he has to work outside day and night and goes to bed, I think, at 10 o'clock. Because he has to climb all these mountains and that. And he gets very wet and dirty, covered in mud.
The reason why Chelsea went to boarding school is because we move around a lot. We've had 6 houses in the same amount of years. So that means Chelsea and Mikey, my lad as well, move school quite often, and it's not very good for them, it's upsetting for them. So the ideal solution was to find a good school, which we did, and send Chelsea there so she can get a good, stable education.
All right, look at me. You're now going to receive a set of orders off the platoon commander for a fighting patrol, which is tonight's activities. Throughout the
Well, I think my dad might just be working with these soldiers for the money for me to go to school. And also, I don't know if he's going to move up a job, but I reckon he will.
But if he's to stay on course for promotion, Vern Stokes must do well on tonight's difficult night exercise.
My command appointment, the first one I did, the platoon sergeant one, it started off quite well. You know, in the harbour area, I give my service support on the orders, and that went well. And I got a bit of praise of the instructor for that.
Any more 2 section?
And it started going downhill from them, because myself included as well, you know, we weren't quite as switched on as what we should have been.
Come on, guys.
I'm now stood at a place called Black Hut on the training area, and I'm waiting for the platoon to arrive. What they're doing tonight is a night fighting patrol. When they get here, they've got to get off the trucks, get themselves organised. They've then got to navigate for about 2 kilometres across country. Now, the country they're going to cross is very boggy. There's lots of streams to cross. It's very difficult going underfoot, and particularly tonight because there's no moon and there's not much light to aid them. Sergeant Stokes tonight, who's the platoon sergeant, has got a very important job. He's got to bring up the rear, and he's got to make sure that the platoon stays together. Well, the worst thing that can happen is that they get lost. Then we'll have a period of time while they sort out their geographical embarrassment. That's about the worst thing that can happen. The second worst thing that can happen is I can fall into a bog. And about the third worst thing that can happen is they don't find the enemy at all, and we're wandering around for most of the night looking for them.
Basically, what I was worried about was platoon commander getting lost. You know, because I'm the check navigator, but because I'm at the back, 30 people behind, and at night time that can be anything up to, you know, 400 metres away from him at the front. If he gets lost, by the time you get up to the front, you know, he might be off at a tangent, going in a totally wrong direction. So I was a bit concerned about that. And at one stage, I think he did get a little bit disorientated.
Sergeant Stokes. Is that you?
Yes, sir.
Where's the platoon commander's route?
Platoon commander's going to go in that direction, sir.
It's going to go in that direction. What direction is that? Don't you know the bearing off the top of your head?
Lost man 3.
Hey?
No,
You don't know the bearing?
No, sir. It's on my compass.
Lost man 2.
So where's he going over there?
Heading for the re-entrance.
Heading for the re-entrant. Which re-entrant?
The re-entrance going to lead him all the way in, sir.
Okay.
Just as Vern feared, the platoon commander has lost his way. Things are not going well.
Right, guys, get up there.
Well, this has been a complete disaster so far. The platoon as a whole is clearly responsible for its navigation. The platoon commander and the platoon sergeant really didn't know what each other was doing. Consequently, the platoon got split up over about 600 metres. The platoon commander also chose the most obvious point, that is a bridge, as a place to bring his platoon together, which the enemy would have used as a killing area. Well, this had better improve pretty soon, or I'm going to kill off the platoon commander and the platoon sergeant and get somebody else to do it. We
We're not even in a position to attack yet. It's now 11:45, and it looks like being a long night. What really bugs me is the crap navigation. Atrocious navigation. I've seen people on the Duke of Edinburgh's award do better.
From his position at the back, Vern Stokes learns that the platoon commander has led his men straight into enemy fire.
Two section! Fucking fire now!
The platoon commander took the fire support away, and he must have been seen by the enemy and he got compromised. They got bumped. Part of the job is anticipate taking over the patrol.
What's happened now is Sergeant Stokes with the rest of the platoon are trying to catch up to regain the initiative now. But clearly in real life they'd be in big trouble here. They would have taken a lot of casualties because of their poor navigation and the use of the ground.
Hey! Pass him fucking down!
As chaos reigns, the instructors decide to kill off the platoon commander and put Vern Stokes in sole command.
Your ball game now, Sergeant Stokes. Forget the platoon commander.
Two section! Two section!
But can he get things back on track?
Sergeant Hayter! Sergeant Hayter, look at me now! Look at me! I want fire support going down the left-hand position and the right-hand position in the BMP now.
I hadn't really listened to all his orders, so I wasn't fully coherent with the plan. So when he got bumped, all of a sudden I had a million and one things rushing through my head. I actually thought to myself, oh no, I can't remember his plan. I wasn't listening to what he was saying. It was a bit of a turning point for the course, that, because I had a really good start to the course. And then from then on, because it wasn't as good as I expected to get a pass, it was hard work for me. It just wasn't what I expected, and I was pretty disappointed with it as well.
I will let you go forward on the net. Do you understand? Break them down! Break them down! Go forward! Take it out!
Sergeant Stokes, look what's engaging you from depth. Watch. Yeah, what's that? BMP. Well, let's fucking get the front taken out next.
Roger, that BMP is still engaging. It's still engaging. Make sure you've destroyed it, over.
An enemy machine gun is creating chaos.
Stokes, if you switch fire right onto the BMP, you're going to be firing at your own blokes, aren't you? Sergeant Stokes was trying there to take control of the battle. Unfortunately, he was a good 200 metres away from the enemy positions. He hadn't really identified where they were. The section commanders were not really taking control either, and the whole thing's really turned into a bag of worms.
Yeah, come on, we got to get him. Where's the casualty? He's only going over here.
He's here.
Get him dragged back on the axis. You're going to be heading back to the FRB.
Right, leave the medics to deal with him.
You go back, you lead the way. Make sure you get the casualties with you. You're the protection. Head back in that direction.
Wait, it's only other depth, is that?
No, there's no depth. We're withdrawing now.
One section! Right, the remainder of the two.
The instructors have seen enough.
Stop! Closing!
Okay, right, get in your normal hollow square, be quiet, listening to Captain Ramsey for a couple of minutes.
For once in my life, I'm at a loss for fucking words. That was disgraceful. From start to finish. The personal skills went out the window the second we left the wagon. Did a TA course here on exactly the same thing. And to tell you the truth, I'd rather be soldiering with them now.
The exercise has been a disaster. If Vern Stokes has failed, he will find it difficult to pass the course.
Sergeant Stokes, you passed that appointment, which may be a bit of a surprise to you, to be perfectly honest. All right? And the first thing I want to make clear is that you only just passed it. Okay? The reasons you passed it is, first of all, your administration and your preparation before you went on the patrol. All right? I thought that was very good, and that went a good way to your passing the appointment. You must be aware at all times of exactly where you are, to within 100 metres. Your personal skills, all right, during the assault, your personal skills are of a poor standard. All right, they're not of the standard that I expect from a platoon sergeant. All right, you're a big guy, all right, you've got a decent voice, you come across as a confident bloke, yeah, so impose that on a given situation. All right, you must take charge and you must show people you're in charge. All right, so that's the skin of the teeth.